Hey everyone, I'm coming on live to do this video, this message. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you for joining me on YouTube. My name is Stef. I'm a psychic soul alignment coach. And what I do is I work with spiritual entrepreneurs and spiritual people to help them to do very deep levels of healing in order to align themselves with their souls, with who they truly are. And as a result, they're able to then create their most amazing lives. If they have businesses, they're able to make their greatest level of impact, influence, and income via their businesses. So this topic today has been on my mind the last few days, and I've been wanting to speak about it, and I feel like today is the day that I do that. So the topic today is, are you strengthening your light or your darkness? Are you deepening your connection to God, Source, the universe? Or are you deepening your connection to what we as humans commonly refer to as the devil? I don't want to get too much into the religious stuff because, to be honest, I don't know a whole lot about, that kind of stuff there. I haven't channeled with my guides on it. But I've been noticing that quite often as humans, we don't strengthen our light. We don't move towards our light. We, in fact, move away from the light. And we keep ourselves in darkness. And I say that because humans, a lot of times, they continue to hold on to their false self. They continue to hold on to limiting beliefs and fears and egoic desires. And this all is not really who they truly are. Who you truly are. And I have an entire playlist on YouTube. It'll be up here somewhere if you're on YouTube watching this. I have a playlist titled Connecting to Your Higher Self. And so on a spiritual level, who you truly are is you're a divine spiritual being. And you are a being of unconditional love and abundance and acceptance. And you're powerful. You can do amazing things. But because of life and the experiences that you've had growing up and how you've been conditioned or programmed, you've been made to believe that you're someone that you're not, that you aren't worthy, that you aren't capable, that life has to be hard for you, that you're a victim, and a bunch of negative things. And the thing is that when we grow up in this way, our light starts becoming dimmed and we start falling into the darkness. And then at some point, the darkness becomes familiar. And as people here who are on the path of spiritual awakening and coming back to their divine truth, we're here to come back to that light. But the issue is that we're so accustomed to the darkness. We're so used to feeling like crap and not believing in ourselves. And we're so programmed to chase material things or chase external things to feel good about ourselves that we just stay in the darkness rather than move towards our light and to strengthen that. And why do I say this? Because I just wrote a post in my community. I have a Facebook community. If you're on YouTube and you want to come and join us, the links to my social media and my community are in the description of this video. But I say that because I'm doing this program. At this time, I was guided to hold this. It's called Remembering Who You Are. It's a very powerful healing program. And I was asked to modify it so that it's relevant to the current times and moving forward. And we're all here on the path of developing our spirituality, coming back to who we really are, really embodying this on deeper levels. But a lot of times we don't give that maybe the importance that it deserves, because we're just so programmed to focus on this material world, and we're so sucked into the game, the matrix. And we feel like maybe we can't invest in our spiritual healing and well-being because that's not a priority. The priority right now is to continue to secure our lives materially, right? And so we maybe don't seek that deeper spiritual connection in order to continue to go after these material things. Or we continue to buy into our stories, our limiting beliefs around why certain things are impossible or why they're hard or whatever, rather than come back to our truth that we can do this, that we are loved, we are supported. And, you know, I really feel like we really do come from a source that really truly loves us and wants us to come back to our truth, and is always doing its best to continuously guide us there. But we use our free will sometimes to not move in that direction and not allow ourselves to come back to this divinity. And I say that because we all have an internal compass inside of ourselves. We are all still deeply connected to that spiritual realm on some level. And so that inner compass, that inner guidance is always trying to lead us forward to coming back to who we truly are. And this often comes in the form of your intuition. Your intuition is always trying to lead you down the path that you need to go on to return to your truth. And so your intuition might tell you, hey, go do this retreat. Go read this book. Go join this program. Go get this healing done. Whatever it is to help you to start coming back to your truth. But because you've been so conditioned and you've bought into the game, the matrix, that you tell yourself things like, oh, I can't go to that retreat right now because, the world is finally returning back to normal and I can finally go back to work now. At this current time that I'm doing this video, we're just now starting to get out of quarantine and the coronavirus stuff. And so your ego says things like, yeah, it's not the right time for me to invest in a retreat or to go do that right now and take some more time away. I've already been away from the world and this. I can't do that right now. It's not the right time. It's not responsible, or whatever it is. And so your inner guidance is pulling you to do this. You're feeling like you need to do this. You're getting signs from the universe, retreat here, retreat there. People talk about it here. You're hearing it everywhere. But you don't listen because you're chasing your darkness. You're following your darkness instead. You're so comfortable being in the dark that you're not willing to do those things to go and move yourself towards your light again. And so again, the inner guidance, the compass, it's always trying to pull you in the directions that will help you to come back to more of this light. Like I said, it will tell you, read this book, do that retreat, invest in that program, get that healing, support, whatever it is, to do this. But the ego, the programming, the conditioning, will try to keep you in the dark, and it'll convince you not to do those things. It'll cause you to procrastinate, to come up with legit reasons for why it's not the right time, or you can, or it's irresponsible to do those things, or whatever it is. And so all you do is just continue to remain in the dark and strengthen your connection to the darkness rather than strengthen your connection to the light. And I see so many people doing this. It's kind of heartbreaking that people are so scared of their light and they're not listening to that inner guidance. And even if your inner guidance isn't strong enough for you to be able to notice what direction you need to go in, the universe is sending you signs all the time. And if you're willing to expand your awareness enough, you're going to notice those signs. And a good example of that I have, and I have permission from my client to share this. I wrote a post about this on Instagram today. I actually wrote a post a few weeks ago, maybe like 2 weeks ago or something. And the post was something along the lines of, the universe is always sending you signs. Are you paying attention though, or are you waiting for the signs to hit you upside the head before you actually pay attention? Right? That was a post I wrote a couple weeks ago or something. But the post that I wrote today was all around signs, and it was explaining signs and that kind of jazz. And so my client, right? My client got into a car accident yesterday after our session. And they reached out to me in the evening, letting me know of this and telling me, hey, I feel like there's a message behind this, but I don't know what, right? And so luckily, one of the perks of working with a psychic coach is your psychic coach can tune in and find the answers for you, until you develop your intuition, your guidance, your abilities yourself. Well, that's what I teach my people, is to be able to do that for themselves. And that person is developing their gifts. And so I tuned in, and my guides were like, yeah, this person didn't trust their intuition. And this was the message that they needed to receive to trust in their intuition more. Because their intuition actually told them not to go out. But, the darkness, the ego, we're just like, oh, whatever. And I'm just going to go out, boom, car accident, right? And these are just all the subtle ways in which a lot of times we unintentionally chase our darkness or strengthen our darkness or follow our darkness rather than come back to our light, rather than come back to who we truly are. So, the universe is always sending you signs. It's always trying to redirect you back to who you truly are. But you have to pay attention and you have to act on that. The faster you do that, the better your life becomes. There's really no price that you can put on developing yourself spiritually. There really is that's just the most amazing gift you can give to yourself, and there really just is no value out there that you can put on that, experience of coming back to your truth, coming back to your divinity. Because when you do that, you're able to remain so peaceful, or so much more peaceful and centered, grounded, and empowered inside of you. And it doesn't matter what's going on around you. You're able to stay calm in all of that. You're able to navigate those things. You're able to see the truth beyond all of that. And because you're so much more deeply connected to your divinity, you know that you're being loved and supported, protected by the divine in all of that. And that's amazing. Because right now, what we've noticed with all the changes that are happening in the world, people have difficulty being in that state. They're panicked, they have anxiety, they have anger and outraged and all these things coming up for them that are overwhelming them, that are like running them. So that's just something that's been on my mind, because it's like the whole purpose of you being here. You're here to evolve as a spiritual being. You're here to come back to your truth. You're not here necessarily to get those material things, to make that money, get that fame, do all those material things that you want to do or get. There's nothing wrong with those things. It's perfectly fine to have them. But your main purpose here is to develop as a spiritual being. And when you do that, that's when all of those material things can come more effortlessly into your life, because you're doing it from a place of true empowerment and alignment. You're seeking those things not to try to fill a void inside of yourself, not to try to cope with an insecurity, not to try to, cover up the pain of whatever is hurting you. You're able to create those things in your life because that's just who you are. You just naturally become a match for it. It makes sense for those things to show up in your life and to be a part of your life. But most people don't do it that way. Most people go about it the opposite way. They think they need the money to feel successful. They think they need the money to feel like they're making an impact, right? And to a certain extent, money does help you make an impact. That's part of what I teach. But a lot of times it's like when you're only solely focused on, I need this money to do this. I need this money to, and you always think you need something to move forward, to grow, to, reach those things that you want to reach, you're doing it the opposite way, because you're trying to use the external world to make you feel better, when really it's about feeling better internally, getting yourself together internally by coming back to who you truly are. And when you do this, then the external adjusts itself and reflects back to you that internal peace, empowerment, abundance, fulfillment, impact that you have created inside of yourself. So that's the message that I really just wanted to bring forward today is, are you still caught up in the trap of chasing your darkness? Are you continuing to allow procrastination to get the best of you? Allow your limiting fears and limiting beliefs and fears and stories and all these different things to continue to get the best of you, to continue to keep you in the dark, keep you disempowered, keep you from not really connecting to your creator? Are you still allowing those things to hold you back? Because if so, it's time for you to wake up. It's time for you to allow your inner guidance, your soul compass, your inner compass here, to lead you forward in the path that is truly for your highest good. It may not make sense wherever your inner guidance is trying to lead you forward to. That may not make sense. It may not, feel right or seem right to you, but just do it. It might bring up fears for you sometimes, right? Because sometimes our inner guidance isn't going to take us down the path that we're comfortable with. It's going to take us down the path that we're uncomfortable with sometimes, to lead us to new possibilities and to more of who we truly are, right? We're so comfortable in our pain, in our suffering, in our darkness, in this stuff that we have known for so long, that your soul wants you to break free from that stuff. It wants you to break free from the scarcity, from the abuse, from the unworthiness, from the struggles, whatever it is. And it's going to often lead you into the unknown to try to get you back to this light. But you got to be willing to listen to that inner guidance. You got to be willing to allow it to lead you forward. Even if it doesn't make sense, even if it scares you, even if you don't know how it's going to come together, or whatever it is, just do it. I promise you, you're going to be so much better off for it if you're willing to listen to that. Choose to strengthen your light over your darkness. Choose to come back to who you truly are. Choose to deepen your connection with spirit, with your creator, with your source, whatever you believe is the higher power. That's all that really matters. All of these material things, there's nothing wrong with wanting them. There's nothing wrong with having them. But you're not going to take them with you when you die. All you're going to take with you is the growth that you achieved in this life and who you were able to impact positively because of the growth that you achieved here in this life. Because really, you may not really recognize just how important you are to the world. You may think you're just one person and you don't make much of a difference, but you make such a difference around those who you constantly come into contact with. Your children, your family, your coworkers, friends, people at your church, whoever you spend a lot of time with. You make such a big impact in their lives. But the way for you to impact them in greater ways and to help them connect back to who they truly are is by you connecting back to who you truly are first. You have to be willing to be more of a brighter light for them, to show them who they really are. The way that we teach others how to come back to this truth is by being that truth for ourselves, first and foremost. It's by really living that and walking that and breathing that, embodying that in greater ways. That is how we change the world, is through our own shift in our being. And so when you pass, are you going to be able to proudly look back on your life and say that you made an impact? That you really used this opportunity you had here to make this world a better place, to deepen your connection to your spirituality, to the greater power, Or are you going to be able to look back on that and say that, no, you instead kept yourself small because you kept believing in the lies and the limiting beliefs and the fears, and you just kept allowing all those things to hold you back? What do you want to do with your life? Who do you really want to be? It's up to you. You make choices here. It's your free will. You can choose to continue to move in the direction of your light and to strengthen that. Or you can continue to choose to move in the direction of your darkness. It's really up to you, but I really encourage you to move in the direction of your light. Always do it, even if it doesn't make sense. Even if it scares you, it's always, always well worth it in the end. It really is. I was never really brought up with religion. But a part of me always knew. Sorry. I wasn't expecting to get emotional. I grew up being very violently abused. And there were really hard times in all of that. And I remember as a kid questioning and wondering if there is a God out there. Why can't God help me? Why doesn't God stop this? Where is God? And even though I wasn't really raised with religion, some part of me knew that there was a higher power out there. And I call God the universe, source, all the things. But, even though I wasn't raised with this understanding of God back then, I've deepened my relationship with God, with the universe, these last few years. And it's changed my life. It's changed my life to be able to walk in the world and to have a spiritual business, especially knowing that I have this deeper connection to my Creator, and that no matter what challenges I might be facing or whatever it is, that I'm going to be fine, that I'm going to get through it, that it's all going to work out, that I'm supported, that I'm loved. It gives me so much more peace today, and I can more confidently and powerfully navigate life from that space. I'm more in my power because I have a greater understanding and connection to my source. Whereas in the past, a few years ago, when I was still deep in the darkness, deep with those limiting beliefs and fears and the traumas and all those things, I remember being so scared and panicked and worried and questioning, like, how is this going to happen? And how am I going to be able to do this? And when is it going to come through? And I just consistently lived in a stressed state and was just always worried and panicked. And it was a horrible way to live. It's a horrible way to live so fearful all the time. To be a shell of yourself, a shell of a person. And because I've gone on this journey the last few years, healing myself and learning certain lessons and deepening my connection to my source, life doesn't faze me as much anymore. I'm able to be more in my power because I know that I'm safe. I know that I'm loved. I know that I'm supported. I know that it's all working out for my highest good. And it's not about just understanding this intellectually, because I know there's so many spiritual people out there that listen to my videos and that know these things. I know you know these things. But it's about really embodying those things. That's what I'm talking about. And when you really embody these things, that's when you really are holding a higher level of light, of love, of consciousness, of energy inside of you that makes a positive difference in the lives of everyone around you that comes into contact with you. That's how you help other people. That's the legacy that you're leaving behind as a person. When you do your healing and you come back to who you truly are, that's what you're able to accomplish. That's what you're going to be able to proudly say when you're back, in the spirit realm, saying, I helped other people because I helped myself. I healed myself. I came back to my truth. I lived from this space. And I made a difference by being this version of myself, being a higher vibrational version of myself, holding a higher consciousness or a more expansive consciousness. So please, go follow your light. Invest in yourself, your time, your money, your energy in going after your light and continuing to develop yourself in this way. I promise you, it's so well worth it. It really is. And it's really the only thing in life that can ever give you that peace, that happiness, that joy, that empowerment that you're searching for. I promise you, you can either choose to spend your life, your whole life, continuing to search for money, for relationships, for material things or whatever, to feel secure about yourself, to feel happy, to feel empowered or whatever, give you confidence. You can continue to search outside of yourself all you want. Buy yourself the bags, the clothes, the makeup, the shoes, the jewelry, the cars, get the surgeries, get whatever. Okay, there's nothing inherently wrong with those things. I promise you. I'm not judging anyone who has those things or wants those things or has done those things. But when you're constantly searching outside of yourself to fill something inside of yourself, you're disempowered and you're not really connected to who you really are. And if those things were stripped from you, where would you be then? Where would you be? Who are you without all that money? Who are you without the clothes, the shoes, the marriage, without your children? Because mothers especially sometimes look to their children to make them feel some kind of sense of purpose or identity instead of cultivating that inside of themselves. We're always searching for things outside of ourselves, and it's time to stop that. It's time to be willing to prioritize our internal well-being, our connection to our divinity. It's time to invest in those kinds of things that really are going to make a difference in our lives. Because when you develop yourself spiritually and you're strong internally because of it, that's when, even if the things are stripped from you, they're taken from you or whatever, it doesn't matter, because you know who you are and you're strong and you're empowered and you're supported, and you can recreate all those things, that you're going to be supported in getting those things back, that you have what it takes internally to bring that about again. Because it's all created from within anyway. So it doesn't matter if they're taken. And that's true empowerment. That is true empowerment. That is true freedom. Because what a lot of people are searching for sometimes through the external things is freedom. But you don't understand that the true freedom comes from within. It comes from developing yourself spiritually. And the way to develop yourself spiritually is through healing yourself. That's when you're no longer going to be falling into those patterns of chasing your darkness, strengthening your darkness. Because the truth is that when you have experienced pain and trauma and all that kind of stuff, it's in your energy, and it makes you, what's the word? Like, maybe not predisposed, but it makes you like unconsciously gravitate towards those things again and again and again. And if you want to stop gravitating towards those things, you have to heal to release the energy so you don't keep gravitating towards those things. So what do I mean by this? I mean, if you have trauma from abuse in your childhood or whatever, that's your darkness. And so long as you have that pain and the trauma inside of you, okay, that darkness is still going to stay in you in the form of emotions, of limiting beliefs, of fears, and whatever. And as you live your life and your soul tries to call you back to your light, that darkness is going to convince you to not follow that light, to convince you to keep searching outside of yourself for fulfillment, for happiness, for abundance, for whatever. But when you heal, you release that energy. You release the weight and the power of that darkness over you, the control it has over you. And you're able to continuously and more effortlessly move in the direction of your light again and again and again. And that's all that matters here. So that is a message that I just really wanted to share today. Please, moving forward, prioritize your spiritual well-being, your healing. It is so important for you. It is so important for others. It's important for your soul's growth. It's important for you to come back to who you truly are. Because coming back to who you truly are is how you really achieve true empowerment and freedom. It's how you become a sovereign being. Because when you're truly in your power and you are the sovereign being, like I said, nothing outside of you will continue to overpower you or get the best of you anymore. Because you know it all starts from within and you got this. You're connected to that. You're really embodying that. And you're able to live your life more boldly and courageously. And you're able to create more amazing things with your life as a result. So that is the message that I wanted to really bring forward today. And it's just been weighing on me the last few days. And then I was like, hey, universe, what do I need to talk about? Because I know I need to talk about something. My guides told me to speak from my heart. And I was like, what exactly is this? So I just pulled a card anyway. And I got this card. And then I asked my guides, obviously, because I don't know. Sometimes I get too lazy to ask them right away. But I got this card. And this card is Krishna. He's a Hindu god. It says devotion. Trust your spiritual guidance. Your commitment has been recognized. You are loved unconditionally. This is the message, strengthening our devotion to our higher power, the higher power that we feel we come from, deepening that. That is so important right now and moving forward. So I really encourage you to continue to move towards your light. Notice the signs that you're getting from the universe that are always trying to direct you to the light. The universe is trying to break you free from the limiting beliefs, the fears, the traumas, the pain. It's trying to break you out of the darkness. So the universe is always sending you signs for that. But you got to trust in that. You got to allow yourself to be led by that, even if it doesn't make sense. Just move in the direction of that. Your inner guidance, your inner knowing is always pulling you forward. Lean into that. Doesn't matter if you don't know, if you don't trust, if you're afraid, try to move beyond the fears. The fears are just the darkness. The fears are just the darkness that you're so comfortable in. And you got to break free from that and move in the direction of your light. If your intuition is really pulling you in a certain direction, allow that to be. Trust in that. And allow it to just carry you forward. You got to choose to come back to your light. Nobody can make you be ready to come back to it. You got to decide that for yourself. You got to decide that you're ready to leave the darkness behind and come back to more of your true power. Live more fully. It's up to you. And like with my client, she's in the process of coming back to who she truly is, which is why the universe sent her the sign via a car accident. To help her to remember to trust in her inner guidance, trust in her intuition. You got to lean into that. And maybe if she had leaned into her intuition, she could have avoided that accident, right? That's the universe always trying to protect us and look after us. It sends us signs. It sends us that inner guidance for a reason. when your inner guidance is pulling you in a certain direction, or when you're seeing certain signs, the universe is trying to pull you in the direction of your highest good to avoid potential accidents, further obstacles, challenges, setbacks. The universe is trying to spare you more pain and suffering, but you got to trust in it. You got to allow yourself to be guided. You got to stop trying to control things. As humans, part of our darkness is that we try to control things, right? Because we don't have that deeper connection to the spirit realm, to our source. And we think that we're, all alone here. And so we're trying to control it. And when we really are connected to who we truly are, we're able to surrender more easily and allow the higher power to work it out for us, to bring forward the solutions, the manifestations, the miracles that we need to move forward, right? So when you're not trusting, you're not surrendering, when you're allowing your ego to get the best of you, when you're allowing your fears to hold you back, your pain to keep affecting you, etc., that's you strengthening your darkness. Shift out of that. Move towards your light. Notice the signs, the messages, your inner guidance, and lean in the direction that you're being guided to go in. And if you don't know or understand the signs that you're getting, you don't understand the messages behind that, reach out to me. I'm more than happy to assist you with that. I was guided today to create a limited time offer with offering 30-minute psychic guidance sessions. I don't really do psychic guidance sessions, but I have 30-minute guidance sessions, psychic guidance sessions, to help people to understand the signs that they've been getting in their lives, because the signs are going to become more and more prominent in your life moving forward. When you have challenges or setbacks or things that rock your world or whatever it is moving forward, it's not because the universe is punishing you. It's because the universe really wants you to come back to who you truly are. And it's been trying to send you signs. It's been trying to get your inner guidance to pull you in that direction, and maybe you haven't been listening. And so it sometimes has to send bigger signs that smack you upside the head so that you can really move yourself in that direction. So please notice that the signs are going to get more intense, because you're here to develop spiritually. That's your purpose for being here. It's one of your purposes. And so pay attention to the signs, to the inner guidance. It's going to be so much easier for you in that way. I promise you. Take those leaps of faith, take those risks, prioritize your spiritual well-being, your healing. This is the most important thing you can do now, and leave the rest to God, to the universe. They'll figure it out for you. When you choose to do things that are to promote a higher level of spiritual well-being, of your healing, of your connection to source, I promise you the universe will have your back and work it out, especially then, because that's why you're here. And that's why the universe has been sending you all these signs all along. And if you don't understand the signs, you don't understand, what direction the universe is pulling you in at this time, where you're intended to go for your highest good, then you can reach out to me and ask me about those mini psychic sessions that I'm offering right now for a limited time. Just message me. They're currently $50. I don't do this normally. So if it speaks to you, if you want my support, I'm happy to help you. But that's basically it. So let me see if I have comments here, because I can't see any comments on my phone. But I appreciate all of you who joined me tonight for a limited time. Hey Veronica, how are you, love? Thanks for reaching out. Hey Rumen, how are you, love? It's been a minute. Hey Stephanie. Oh, I'm glad that this helped you. You're so welcome. Hey Mark, good to see you. You've been seeing 333-444-777-999. That's awesome. Those are all amazing signs. Tune into the messages and see how they resonate with you. Yeah, you're not sure who you truly are. Yeah, it's okay to come back to who you truly are, you have to explore yourself. You have to take the journey of the soul and go within and see what you have inside of you that is darkness and is not who you really are, and to heal that, to begin purging that and understanding who you are on these deeper levels. That's how you're going to be able to come back to who you truly are and have a solid sense of identity and to claim that more powerfully. Hey Salem, how are you? Thanks for joining me. Wait, are you a life coach? Just a businesswoman. I'm a psychic soul alignment coach and businesswoman. It's the same thing for me. So that's what I am. I'm a psychic, I'm a healer. I help people with their businesses. So that's how I do my things. That's what I do. A lot of friends that are no longer in my life with low vibrational friends. Awesome. I'm glad to hear that you let go of those low vibrational friends. Stop allowing your own ego and your darkness to hold you back from becoming more of who you truly are. Okay? That is my message. Oh, look at that. Oh, someone booked a session with me. Yay, so cute. Yeah. So, yeah, they're friends of my life, low vibrational friends. Thanks the universe pushing them out of my life, knowing if they're not for my highest good. Yeah, and that's really great, Mark. Like if these people shifted out of your life as well, because either you removed them or because they just kind of got out of your life, that's really great. That means you raised your vibration enough to no longer be a match with those kinds of people, and they just kind of saw their way out. So that's awesome. You should be really proud. They weren't for your highest good. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your love, for your support. Thank you for holding space for me as I got emotional earlier, because sometimes these things just happen. Please prioritize your relationship to spirit, to source, to God, whatever you call the higher power. It is absolutely life-changing to do that, and you're going to find your own way of doing that. Everyone's spirituality is going to look different to them, but just take yourself on that path because it's so well worth it. And well, if you enjoyed this video, please give this video a thumbs up, a like if you're watching on YouTube or wherever you're watching from. Drop me a comment in the comments below to let me know how this message resonated with you today, how it spoke to you. Feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel and make sure you hit the bell button and change your settings to see all or see first, so you make sure you never miss out on a notification from my channel. And I just really appreciate all of you so much. I will see you around online for when I feel guided to create another video. All right, guys, take care. Bye-bye.